We got a big update with the Colts' ongoing quarterback competition between Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. Right now, this is the biggest quarterback battle of the offseason because whoever wins this job is going to have the fate of head coach Shane Steichen and general manager Chris Ballard on their shoulders. And the Colts got to win this year. If they don't, they're going to start next year searching for a new head coach and a new general manager, which makes it really important that this staff gets it right with whoever they pick to be their starting quarterback for week 1 this season. And right now, according to reports, Daniel Jones has a significant lead over Anthony Richardson, the BQB1, and it makes tons of sense. The NFL stands for not for long. You don't have a lot of time to build a winning team. And with Shane Steichen and Chris Ballard being on the hot seat, their jobs being on the line this year, the guy who gives them the best chance to survive is Daniel Jones. Yes, he isn't that good. He's one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the NFL, but at least he can do the simple things right. As opposed to Anthony Richardson, who makes the simple things more complicated than what they should be. And when you have a team that is built to win, you can't allow yourself to get fired due to bad quarterback play, which Anthony Richardson has given you his first 2 years in the league. And yes, when the Colts drafted him 4th overall a few years ago, it was understood that it was going to take a few years for him to be good enough to be a franchise quarterback. The issue is that he regressed his second season as the starter. He tapped out, he missed time with injuries, and when he was on the field, he showed no growth and no development at all. And when you are a head coach and a GM on a hot seat, you can't put your job security in the hands of a quarterback that has shown you no promise. Daniel Jones at least can complete a 5-yard slant to an open receiver consistently. Anthony Richardson can't. And not only does he put your job security in jeopardy in the year where you have to win, but he also frustrates the rest of the team. Receivers don't give a fuck about a guy being raw and needing time to develop. They want to go out there and they want to make plays. And they want to play with the quarterback who gives them the best chance to do so. And that is often what never gets talked about when you are assessing a young quarterback. It's easy as a fan to say, well, he needs more time. These receivers don't want to hear that shit. Michael Pittman, A.D. Mitchell, Josh Downs, they're getting frustrated when their starting quarterback is overthrowing them by 30 yards when they're wide open on the 10-yard dig. That's not winning football. It puts the defense at a disadvantage because they got to be on the field for more plays than what they should be due to inefficient offense because the quarterback play is bad. And Anthony Richardson, not only has he been one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the NFL, but he's been one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL in general. In terms of starting and backup quarterbacks, he's the worst of them all. And you can't risk your job being Shane Steichen and Chris Ballard, putting it in the hands of a guy who has shown no promise at all. Trey Lance was in the same situation with the San Francisco 49ers. As a matter of fact, he was in the best situation possible for a young quarterback to be in. He had a team that was already equipped to win. He had one of the best offensive minds in the league, and yet he still couldn't get it right. And it didn't take long to figure out that Trey Lance couldn't play. And when you watch Anthony Richardson, you don't have to see him play for more than 2 quarters to realize this is not an NFL caliber quarterback. When I tried out for high school football, it took me only 2 practices to realize who are going to be the best players on the team and who are going to be the guys most likely to either get put on JV or not make the team at all. Football is a simple game. If you can play, it's evident early. If you can't, it gets shown early. And it's been shown to us in Anthony Richardson's brief amount of action that he just doesn't have what it takes to cut it as an NFL quarterback. His career completion percentage is 50%. That's the lowest that a starting quarterback has had since Tim Tebow played for the Denver Broncos. You cannot win football games with that. And Daniel Jones, as bad as what he is, he gives the Colts a better chance to win with the roster they have around them than what Anthony Richardson does. And if you were in the Colts situation where you have to win or you get fired, are you going with the guy who is solely living off potential, who has shown no promise in his third season? Or are you going with the guy who at least can complete a 5-yard slant routinely to an open receiver? I think the answer is pretty self-explanatory. I'm not expecting for Anthony Richardson to catch up to Daniel Jones in this quarterback battle unless he just has some tremendous turnaround in training camp, because he just isn't equipped to be a starting quarterback right now, especially when you're trying to win and save your job. And Daniel Jones, he's going to be the Indianapolis Colts starting quarterback this year. Whether you want to have him or not, he's the best that you have right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Daniel Jones have a similar season to what we saw Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith, and Sam Darnold have these last couple of years. It's not as if Daniel Jones hasn't shown any promise at all. He led the Giants to the playoffs a few years back. He led them to a huge playoff win at the time over the Vikings. So he has shown the ability to play winning football if he's put in the right situation. And there's not a too big of a gap between his skill set and what Anthony Richardson brings to the table. He's not the freak athlete that Anthony Richardson is, but he's pretty mobile. He can run. He has good mobility. You can run design quarterback runs with him. You can utilize him on RPOs and read options. He has a really strong arm in his own right. He can push the football down the field. He just doesn't have the upside that Anthony Richardson has if he's able to put it all together. But when you're trying to win games and a must-win season, when it's do or die, you don't have any more time to wait for the upside to hit. You got to go with what you know works. And Daniel Jones works. Anthony Richardson hasn't shown that he can work right now.